Welcome to the Geeks Attic and the first Star Wars Legends book review. I will be talking about Star Wars Dawn of the Jedi Into the Void. I'm going to do the whole Star Wars Legends timeline, only novels, not comics or children's books, just the novels that you could find printed on that timeline right there in the front of the book. It'll be interesting. Star Wars Dawn of the Jedi Into the Void was written by New York Times best-selling author Tim Lebbon. This novel is the first event on the Legends novel timeline. This tale begins the first era of the Star Wars Expanded Universe before the Republic. It takes place 25,793 years before A New Hope. And now for a brief summary, the Jedi Council on Tython has called upon Ranger Jedi Lannery Brock to take on a dangerous mission. Now she's tasked with hunting down an individual who has intentions of following through on an event that could possibly destroy the entire Tython system. Well, it turns out that this individual is Dallin Brock, her own brother. It comes as a shock to her because, well, he's supposed to be dead. Now it's up to Lannery to find her brother and put an end to his madness, even if she has to make his death a reality. Now let's talk about characters. The two characters I'd like to talk about are brother and sister, the protagonist and antagonist of the novel. Now up first is Dallin Brock, or Dalen Brock. I'm not really sure how you say that, but he's angry and irritated at the thought of the Force. He's a dreamer, a stargazer, always looking to the stars and wondering about his people's past. When he was a child, all those around him could see how distant he was from the Force. Now with age brought madness, he wants to go beyond the Tython system, but in a way that puts all life in danger. Up next is Lannery Brock. She's a Jedi Ranger. She's a bit of an odd one. She calls her ship home. It lacks comfort, which was pointed out by her partner on this mission of destroying her brother. She loves her brother and doesn't want to see him on such a dark and destructive path. She can't help but constantly recall their childhood. And now for my overall thoughts. This book was okay. It wasn't that good, but it wasn't that bad, just okay. Now, I expected something completely different. With a title like Dawn of the Jedi, I was thinking this was going to be the discovery of the Force or how the Jedi came to be. I was wrong. It's just some random detective-like story with stakes that didn't come across as legitimate. Heck, if the threat was potentially so devastating, why would the Jedi only send one member to take out this huge threat? Oh, and there's some strange sidekick that Lannery's supposed to take on to help with this mission that she can't trust. So weird. Now, this is ancient times in Star Wars, and it doesn't really feel like it. How much had technology changed in the 25,000 years? I mean, it doesn't really seem like that much has changed. I'm sure it has, but it just doesn't seem like it. I mean, since this story is so old, shouldn't this be more like a fantasy? Maybe like some religious folk trekking across some planet, discovering the Force, or even creating the Jedi Order? The chemistry between some of the characters was decent, like our antagonist and protagonist, but the partner that Lannery has, Trace Sana, for some reason was strange and wasn't very consistent throughout the story. Now, I enjoyed the flashbacks. There's a lot, like half the book, but the structure of the story can be a little confusing. Do I recommend that you pick up Dawn of the Jedi Into the Void? No, not really. This novel took place 25,000 plus years before A New Hope, and it doesn't really feel that ancient. The story's just kinda meh. And now for the rating. Moving forward, I have abandoned my previous rating scale of 1 to 5. Now I'll be rating by the old school grading scale, A to F. So for Dawn of the Jedi Into the Void, I will give this book a D. It has some good things, has some bad things. The stakes just didn't seem legit. Not a great novel to kick off the Legends timeline.